Welcome to Front Office Pros. If you are wondering where Steve is, he's out on vacation, so I'm riding solo. Today, I will be going through our Week 12 IDP Waiver Wire pickups.
Hike!
All right, so the first waiver wire target is defensive end Tuli Tuipulotu of the Los Angeles Chargers, 45% rostered on Fantrax and 58% rostered on Sleeper. He played 84% of the snaps and had 1.5 sacks on Sunday night. Really was able to put pressure on Joe Burrow all night long, and he has absolutely been killing it with 7 sacks over the last 4 weeks. In our Fantrax IDP league with big play scoring, he has exceeded 35 points over the last 3 weeks. And due to that, I'd be aggressive and willing to spend 5 to 10% of FAAB to go ahead and pick him up.
Are you enjoying this episode so far? Well, if you are, subscribe to our YouTube channel, smash that like button, and hit the notification bell for upcoming videos. We do videos throughout the year, so you're not going to want to miss what we have in store.
Second waiver wire target is linebacker Tyrice Knight of the Seattle Seahawks, who is 26% rostered on Fantrax, 18% on Sleeper, played 81% of the snaps on Sunday, which was his highest snap percentage of the season. It seems to be that he is next in line to play opposite of Ernest Jones after the Seahawks made the surprising move of releasing Tyrel Dodson over the bye week, who is leading the team in tackles with 71, well on pace to go ahead and exceed the 100 tackle mark on the season. Knight was able to finish the game with 10 tackles. When he receives the playing time, he has shown to be a reliable tackler for you for IDP leagues. And this is probably more of a deeper league play, but if you are in one, I think he's worth stashing, and I'd be willing to spend anywhere between 0 to 5% FAAB. Third waiver wire target is going to be safety Taylor Rapp of the Buffalo Bills, 29% rostered on Fantrax, 44% on Sleeper. He nearly made it to the show last week. Steve and I had discussed him as a potential player to be talked about, but didn't end up making the cut. We went with Kevin Byard instead, so I decided to go with Taylor Rapp this week, who was able to pick off Patrick Mahomes, making it back-to-back weeks with an interception. And this guy plays 100% of the snaps consistently, provides a nice tackle floor for you at the safety position or DB position, whatever roster setup that your league has. And then once again, if you are like us and have the big play scoring, the interceptions have been making him a great play, scoring over 20 points in our Fantrax league over the last few weeks, which makes him worthy of a pickup. And I'd be looking to spend, anywhere between 5 to 7% of FAAB to go ahead and get him. The fourth waiver wire target is defensive end Kwity Paye of the Indianapolis Colts, 43% rostered on Fantrax, 31% on Sleeper. Kwity Paye has come alive over the last 3 weeks, recording a sack in each of his last 3 games. This past Sunday against the Jets, he got 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and 7 tackles, which gave him a whopping 49 points in our Fantrax league. He's also playing around 70% of the snaps per game, which is pretty good for an edge rusher. Over the last year or so, there's been a trend to, rotate the edge rushers, keep them fresh, but it doesn't seem to be the Colts are doing that. He was able to get 70% of the snaps, and I think there's a good chance that Paye could keep his sack streak alive here. His upcoming schedule is against the Detroit Lions, New England Patriots, has a tougher matchup against Denver, as Bo Nix doesn't really typically take many sacks. But then after that, he finishes the season with the Tennessee Titans, New York Giants, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I think have good potential for him to continue his sack numbers. And I'd be looking to spend, 0 to 5% FAAB on Paye. If Paye could increase his tackle floor like we saw this past week against the Jets, where he recorded 7 tackles, he'd even be more valuable. And last but not least, his waiver wire target safety are Darius Washington of the Baltimore Ravens, currently 7% rostered on Fantrax, 4% on Sleeper. And there seems to be a changing of the guard at safety in Baltimore. Marcus Williams was primarily the starter there, but this past Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington's playing time, he got 100% of the snaps, but over the last few weeks, we saw it increasing. Was able to play the full 100 snaps this past Sunday. And comparing that to Marcus Williams, who was the previous starter, he only played 1% of the snaps. So I think that tells you what you need to know at this point. And, the nice thing with Washington and his IDP upside is he was really utilized as a Swiss Army knife all over the field. He was able to accumulate snaps at deep safety, some box snaps, and also nickel. He recorded 11 tackles in the game, including 1 tackle for loss against the Steelers. And, this gives him 36 tackles, 26 solo, including 1 sack and 6 passes defensed. And, and recorded an interception a couple of weeks ago, which he's been scoring 20 plus points in our Fantrax league over the last 3 weeks. And the secondary, honestly, seems to be playing better with our Darius Washington in there over Marcus Williams, really limiting the big plays. That was one of the knacks on the Baltimore Ravens. They thought you could pass against them, and they were giving up those deep plays down the field. But, Russell Wilson, as much as he likes to do that to George Pickens, they just weren't able to do so this past Sunday. I believe our Darius Washington was a big reason why. And I'd be looking to spend anywhere from 0 to 5% FAAB to go ahead and pick him up. Well, that does it. Those are our 5 Week 12 IDP waiver wire targets. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time.